we are at the 15th week of Birds Breakdown.
Hell yeah.
And I am the Philly sports guy. And of course, always with me, that El Parcero Philly in
Yes,
the
sir.
and I'm here at Tonic Seafood and Steak. El Parcero is socially distant in his abode, and we are talking about another week that has gone by. I tell you, it's been a very interesting ride. It's been a very
Yes,
interesting
sir.
ride happening here. So it, I, I'm not even sure exactly where to start because a lot of people, when I was listening on my way in, as you know, that I like to start
Mhm.
my day off, wait until my day doesn't start until I hear Doug speak, and
Yeah.
it was like people were excited
Yeah.
about this game last night. And I tell you,
It's weird.
I don't have the same feelings about that. I feel much differently about that.
Mhm.
I I wasn't excited for the loss. I
Mhm.
thought that we had chances to win. I
Mhm.
thought that I liked the heart that the team showed, but
Mhm.
I feel like that there were a few things that cost us this game.
Yeah.
And moving forward, I feel like, well, listen, we still ain't done yet.
Yeah.
Done yet. I still think that we have I hear a 18% chance of making the playoffs.
Anything can happen. Absolutely anything can happen. Well, first off, hello and welcome, Philly Sports, and welcome to everyone that is watching on the live streams. Look, I hear what you're saying, and I've heard a lot of the same thing too. It's a weird area this fan base is in right now, Philly Sports guy. I really think so. I'm in the bandwagon that I thought yesterday. I saw it as a positive because I saw, like you said, you mentioned it, heart. I saw some heart. I saw some good quarterback play from Jalen Hurts. I think that for me on Sunday, Jalen Hurts showed to me that he can play quarterback in this league. Can he be a franchise QB? If he continues playing the way he is, then yeah, and he continues to evolve. You saw 1 week, his legs killed this New Orleans Saints, and yesterday he threw for 3 touchdowns, threw for over 300 yards. So he's got that aspect there. But I don't want to lose, and I'm with you. For the fan base, and I think we need to address this here today, Philly Sports Guy, because you have said it perfectly over the last couple of weeks. Tanking to me does not exist in the NFL, and I've
Not
seen
even
it.
a little bit.
I've seen it done over the past couple of years. But guys, we have seen countless of times a team go 5-11 and then go 11-5 the next year, win a division, or just make the playoffs. So in the NFL, you can change over like that in 1 year. We're going to get into it as well, like the infrastructure of the Eagles. Yes, it needs to be tweaked. But after yesterday, I think for me, Philly sports guy, I felt proud. I felt proud because the Eagles gave it a fight, gave a fight to this Arizona Cardinals team. It's clear they have more talent than us, but we came out and we showed up. And remember, guys, we don't have a good record down in Arizona. And you guys remember the past couple games down in Arizona, they have not.
Right.
They haven't ended in the way it's actually ended like this game has. Like, I think off the top of my head, the 2014 game when Nick Foles and Jerry Maclin went off, and then obviously the 2008 NFC Championship game, and they both ended in a sour taste coming back home from the desert. So I'm with you, man. There's a lot to dive into here. Of course, we're going to have to continue talking about Carson and Jalen because that's what every freaking Eagles fan wants to talk about. We can talk about the defense too. We talked about the depleted secondary that we had. They also showed some heart too. So, and the
Right.
special teams too. Let's get to that because I got a rant on that one. But yeah, man, I'm excited to talk Birds with you, man. It sucks we lost again, but listen, we know how to keep the conversation going. We know how to keep it lively and positive. So let's get this done, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. And I tell you, I'm going to start off on a big, huge, monstrous, positive note for
Let's do
me
it.
because I want to get it done and out of here because I don't know that I can talk about it much more after this because you know that I have been saying it since week one.
Mm-hmm.
Since week one. Where has Quez Watkins been?
Yes, I
Where
literally
has
said it
Quez
too.
Watkins been?
I
I
literally
tell
thought of you.
you, I was doing a live and I told my live, I says, guys, stop what you guys are doing. You know what? I'll be back. I gotta go. I have to go do this. I have to go do this because I have only been screaming this guy's name since week one, and they finally
Yes.
put him out there. And what happens? And what happens? Like you saw how fast he was. He
Oh
blew
yeah.
past everybody. Everybody. It was just amazing. I was I
On a
was so
was a third
proud.
and 20 on a screen pass, and he just blows by everyone. Incredible.
Blew past everybody. And
You
then
were right,
of
man.
course they tried to do it a couple other times, and he was
Hmm.
able to turn the corner. But obviously they had
They had,
defended that.
yeah,
I can't wait for him to start doing fly patterns and hit and then Hurts try to out throw him
yeah.
because that's what's got to happen. Like, just throw it up there as far as you can and let him go chase after that ball. Because I'd
Hmm.
be willing to bet that there's going to be 60 or 70-yard pass plays
Oh
that'll
yeah.
happen once that starts to become. And I was so excited. And like I said, I jumped, I went crazy, yelling at everybody like, "Hey, this is the one I was talking about. I've been saying it. If you've been listening to me, this is." You know, another person I want to talk about, my man, the Green Goblin. He
Hey,
had a great
yeah.
game yesterday. You only heard about what's his name one time, and that was because he wasn't covering him. He didn't cover him on that play on the touchdown pass to DeAndre Hopkins. You didn't hear DeAndre Hopkins' name at all, and that was because Mills was all
Yes,
over
sir.
him. Was all over him,
Yeah,
and
I mean, I will say for Jalen, like I really enjoyed the fact that he stepped up as a leader too, Philly sports guy. A couple of times, Michael Jacquet as well did his best to try to cover one of the best receivers in the NFL, and he would look up. You could clearly tell on the sidelines and after plays, he would clearly look for Jalen, get that reinsurance. But I agree with you, man. Jalen did his part yesterday for sure.
yeah, and that's so beyond everything else. I know the defense gave up like 520
Mm-hmm.
yards. I mean, at
Mm-hmm.
one point they were looking at like they were starting to get close to the Super Bowl numbers,
Yeah.
where
Ooh.
they were getting close to being able to like match those yardage totals for both teams, because
Yeah.
that from Super Bowl 52,
Mm-hmm.
and it was the fact that we were still in it, of
Yeah.
course, letting up that last touchdown. I mean, I now I'll start giving my criticisms. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts was a rookie in the first quarter. He
Yeah.
showed how much of a
The
rookie he
safety.
was. The safety was a big one. Was a big one.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw what he tried to do. He just he threw it the wrong spot. He just threw it to
Yeah.
the wrong spot. You know what I mean? And so it's like, all right, you can give that up. All right, I'll let that slide. And
Mm-hmm.
then there was another play that happened that you could tell was very rookie. It was just like rookie mistakes, and it's like, okay. And then he got away from it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that
Well,
that
even
that
on the
slow start.
on that one third and short when it was like they did like a read option and he delayed the option and Arizona was able to get the tackle for the loss. But yeah, those little he had a couple of those rookie mistakes in there. But I guess you
Right.
expect that, right?
Well, and then you start. I don't understand the play calling, and with 5 yards to go into the 5 yards, like five and go, first and second goal from the five.
Yeah.
Like them plays. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't even like
Hmm.
them anymore. I don't like them anymore. And
Who's that?
yeah,
Jalen? You saying?
well, I don't know that it was Jalen. I think that it
Oh,
was
oh,
play calling.
yeah.
That it was terrible play
Well, yeah.
calling there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was so poor. Was so
Hmm.
poor. Like I just felt like that they got lucky getting him into the end zone a couple of times.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I mean, I listen. You need a little bit of luck. I Again, the Cardinals were beatable. They were beatable,
Yeah.
and we didn't do it, and it was something that we needed to do. We needed to do.
Yeah. Okay. So here's my take on Jalen Hurts. I again, he showed you that he can play in this league. Now, against the Saints, he was able to beat you with the legs, and that was fantastic. But you can't do the same thing, especially that type of style in this league every single week. And I was really thrilled seeing the fact that he wasn't scared to throw the ball. Philly sports guy Jalen Hurts in his second start was challenging one of the best cornerbacks over the last 10 years in Patrick Peterson. There was like four attempts on that side when Alshon was one-on-one with Patrick Peterson. He was not scared to throw that ball. And those are things you absolutely love to see. But Philly sports guy, were we not in the same position 4 years ago with Carson Wentz when we saw him make those throws here? And again, you mentioned it. The coaching, the play calling. Doug Peterson, I love you. You brought me a Super Bowl, and you know damn well I wanted that more than anything. But it's the bland play calling. It's not calling to his skill set. And another thing too, why is it on every 1st and 10? Why are you passing the ball? Like you right now are built as a running team. Okay, on a couple first downs, you want to throw the ball to throw the defense off, then okay, but why every single 1st and 10 you are throwing the goddamn ball? So I'm worried because if we do win out and somehow miraculously we win this division, or if we just win out and Jeffrey Lurie doesn't realize that he might need to part ways with Doug Peterson, then you might have to. You might have to part ways with Doug Peterson because I don't trust him developing another quarterback. That's just I'm happy with what Jalen Hurts did, but that's where I'm at right now with the Philadelphia Eagles franchise.
Well, and I first off, I don't think Doug's going anywhere. Doug's not getting fired. You know what I
I
mean?
don't think
So
so either.
and
I'm just
I
concerned.
I don't think that Wentz is going anywhere.
No,
I
I
think
mean
that
you
this is
can't.
all part of what's just happening. You know what I mean? I I like that this is happening. I think that specifically right now, that Hertz is the quarterback that can deal with this line because he's more mobile and more athletic right now,
Hmm.
than Carson is. However, I mean, he's still been getting hit. He's still been getting sacked. He got sacked
Yeah,
6 times. You know what I mean? So it's not his. There's a lot of holes that got to get filled.
yeah,
Now, when you think about it, think about that next year. Next year, we get our whole left side of our line back. You know what I
hmm,
mean? Like that's Brooks is back. Lane Johnson is back. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I don't know if Kelsey will still be here. He probably will because Kelsey's not going to want to go out on the note that this season. You know what I mean? I just
yeah.
can't see it. I know that he wants to become a dad, and start to play daddy and stuff like that. But he also knows that he only gets so much time to be able to play this game,
Yeah,
and it's a game. You know what I mean? And it's he's a hockey player. You know what I mean? That's what I look at him as. He's a hockey player. He puts a he gets cut, he gets stitched back up, and he's back out there again. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
he's going to know. He's going to know when the time is done, and I don't think his time is done yet.
I
Uh,
agree.
and then so now you got Sayamalu, which I ain't real excited about,
I'm
and then
I'm done with him, to be
and
honest
then
with
and then Myalata. So now all of
you.
a sudden, though, you got the right side of the line is going to do a lot better, I think, next year
Hmm.
because Myalata is going to have that year under him now, and you
Hmm.
have Sayamalu, who's probably replaceable. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well,
And
I
then
just want. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go
and
ahead.
then you have all the backups that I've been getting that have been starters this year. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So now all of a sudden you got a tremendous amount. It was funny. You think about the guy that wound up going to Detroit, to
Big
Detroit
V.
signed.
Big
Yeah,
V.
exactly. You know, what I mean? Imagine having him on this team right now.
That'd
It
be
wouldn't have been
nice.
so bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I'm here. Here we go. We got somebody saying, Ertz won't be back. I don't care. I
Yeah.
don't care. It's time for him to go. Uh, Somebody said that Buffalo might be interested in him. It might have even been Chris that said Buffalo might have been interested in him. Ertz has been nothing for me. He hasn't really
Yeah.
done much for me this year. So
Yeah. I mean, to your offensive line point, I agree with you. I just want the Eagles to get some more depth at that position. As far as this line here and moving forward into 2021, I'd like to give Herbig another shot. I'd like him to be a camp body to compete because I seen some sparks with him. And then also we're not even we're forgetting about Andre Dillard too. Like, what is he going to do? Like, do the Eagles do the whole Alshon thing? Like, they have to put him in because he's a first round draft pick. So those are definitely some key questions. But I think that they need to address that in the NFL draft because we all know they don't really have much money to play with next all season for sure.
Right. And so, but I like Dillard as a number 6. I like Herbig as a number 7. Like,
Yeah.
listen, you have to carry
Hmm.
almost 10 offensive linemen. You have
Yeah,
to carry them.
I agree.
And it's going to be hard to do
It's
that.
such
But it's what you got
It's
to do.
important to have those guys up front too. As we clearly saw, we're seeing this season. Like, it's really important to have that depth at that position, at those 5 positions too. Like, 5 guys, and you got to keep a second string too. That's tough.
Right. Yeah. So and that's why it's going to be important. And so I like the fact that these linemen have been getting, like, Pryor ain't going to be back.
Oh, I'm done with him too.
Yeah,
Please get
Pryor
him
is like,
out.
it's so bad, so bad.
Hmm.
Um, but it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Again, that's beyond the point now,
Yeah,
because ultimately it's there's so many holes, and it's also because of so
yeah,
many different things that happened that didn't go to
yeah.
plan this year. All right,
It's true.
so that's what it is. It's 2020, and even after all this, we are a Matt Rule Christmas present away
Yes,
from still being able to win the NFC East.
yes, sir. Come on, Matt.
That's
Rule, do
all
it
we
for us,
are
baby.
away. You know what I
We
mean?
still love you.
I want him to say Merry Christmas, Philadelphia. You know what I mean? Just like Jeff Garcia. That's what I want. I want us to beat Dallas, because we'll know before we play Dallas whether we're going to play, and they'll flex that game. They
Yes,
will
sir.
flex that game to
Yes, sir.
Sunday night for the NFC East. You
Philly
better
sports
believe
guy.
it.
I will say, if Carolina beats the Washington football team, please put a statue of Matt Rule on Broad Street by the Temple campus because he deserves that damn statue
Yes.
for what he's done for Philadelphia football.
Yeah, and I tell you, and they actually played Green Bay really tough. I think that they are probably going to have really a boxer's chance to do
Yeah,
this.
I love what
Plus
he's doing down there.
I think Matt Rule wants to do it for Philly. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I think that he is an Eagles fan. It's
of
still, you know
course.
what I mean?
Of course. Well, a little tidbit about Carolina for the listeners: they actually just fired their GM. He's been a long time GM for them, mostly there for the Ron Rivera days. So Matt Rule's probably going to get a GM that's going to work with Matt Rule. They're going to see eye to eye. So Matt Rule's just winning. I really think he's going to bring him a Lombardi Trophy soon because I think he's got the vision he's meant for this league.
Right.
I really think so. But please, Matt, do us a favor, please.
All he's got to do, that's all you got to do. Just win, Matt. Just do what you
Just
do
win,
best.
baby.
Win. Just win. And like I said, and I don't think it's so ridiculous to think that.
No,
You know what I
no,
mean?
not at
Right.
all.
And I'm going to be in Dallas next week. I mean, so
Yes,
I'm going to be
sir.
for that game. You know what I mean? I got a group with me. We're going to be loud and proud. They're letting
Yes,
about
sir.
30,000 fans down there.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to be down there at that game. Doing my thing. You know what
Yes,
I mean?
sir.
We're going to be loud and proud, and I'm still going to be rooting my team on. Hey, listen, it's been tough. It has been
Yeah.
tough without fans. And I think about how fans may have done things differently, how we would have done things differently, and how maybe the coaching staff would have had no choice but to do things differently if fans were in the stands.
Yeah.
Like, we could have started Hurts maybe 3 games earlier
Yeah.
because of all of the problems that were happening, and the fact that it didn't come to fruition like that. You know, okay, it's 2020. It's
Yeah.
2020, but the fact that we still ain't out of it yet, and we
That's
are
crazy.
4-9-1. This is, I mean, it could be very possible that at 6-9-1 we win
But you know
the
what's funny?
NFC East.
You know what's funny too, the Philly sports guy? Every team in the NFC East has played at least 2 quarterbacks this year. And yet the Philadelphia Eagles, I think, still have the best quarterback groups out of all 4 of these teams.
Yep.
I think that's funny.
Well, and you think about, like, all the things, like, I mean, I mean, Doug Peterson's the most tenured coach in the
I
NFC East.
know.
You know what I mean? It's it's it,
So,
it's ridiculous. It's
but
ridiculous that
but can I ask you, because I want you to put the GM hat on and set aside money. What would you do this all season with the big three, Howie, Doug, and Carson?
uh well, so first off, if I was the GM, Howie would be gone. You know,
Okay.
or Howie would be the
Or if
president of
you're the
football
president. Yeah. Okay.
operations. He should be the president of football operations. That's what he should be. He should have a GM. He should be in charge of making the contracts, having a little bit of a say, but the GM be the one in charge. I prefer that type of thought process, and I think that that's what they're trying to work out with the hire of that new guy. I know that they're trying to keep him in the mix and stuff like that, and he may become the GM, and it may be a promotion for Howie. You know what I mean? To just president of football operations, and I think that that's the way that that should be. Doug, Doug gets it. You know, I think Doug stays.
Okay.
I firmly believe that the play calling has not changed. I feel like that he's been doing the same exact play calling. I feel like that there has been a lot of checkdowns. So I started to watch extra film. I started to go back and watch where I see um, the games before and how many times Carson Wentz is doing this. He would go to check down plays about 30 to 40% of the time
Yeah.
from Doug's play calling. And that's a lot of play calling. It's a
Hmm.
lot of play calling. So the fact that he doesn't give that rope to Hurts.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts doesn't get that same type of rope. You know, so he doesn't get. So he's got to run the play. He's got to run the play. And the fact that he's been running the plays that Doug has been calling, they've been working. I don't think Doug has been calling bad play calling. I think that Carson's been changing them because Carson wants to do what
Yeah.
Carson wants to do. And I think that that's been part of the issue, that Doug has been eating it for Carson. And that's why he's so unhappy with what's happening over there. You
Hmm.
know, it's like, okay, I'm stuck with this guy. I'm stuck with this guy. I'm stuck with this guy. Well, now you, he gave him enough rope to hang himself, and he hung himself. Now, now, does that believe? Now, do I believe that he can't be fixed? I think he can be fixed. I think that he'll be back next year, and I think watching from the sidelines and having some competition is going to absolutely make him a little bit better of a quarterback. Now, is somebody going to come and blow our socks off with a trade? Because that's what it would have to be. It would have to be something that's like almost 2 first-round picks, two firsts
Yeah.
and a third. You know, a first and a third next year, and a first and the following year. That's what it would have to be. Now, if you're the Colts who are looking to finally take that extra step, might be worth it. If you're Denver, is that worth trying to do that? You know what I mean? I think about that as
But
well.
John Elway's capable of doing that.
Well, John Elway's killing them over there. I mean, he's the reason why the Broncos are so bad. So
Well,
I wouldn't be surprised that John Elway would do something like
he
that.
his problem is he can't draft a quarterback. Like, he's trying. This is his third attempt now, and he can't find one unless it's like a free agent like Peyton Manning. He can't find a quarterback.
So, and you know what? See, I'm going to put this out here. I'm going to put this out. No, that's
What's the
not.
lines I've heard?
No, that's not what I wanted to put out. Not for Wentz. Now,
Not for
his
once, no.
trade value is too young. First off, this guy Chris, he's up in Canada, and he's been hating on the Eagles. He's an Eagles fan, but he seems to be hating on the Eagles lately. He's saying, we were done before the week even started and stuff like that. And he's always, oh, well, it's too low. It has trade value has more to the team that the trade is going to than the team that's holding it. So you might think that his trade value is too low, but the Colts might not, because they got a quarterback who is 98 years old with 74 kids. You know what I mean? So they may want somebody more to be able to hang their hat on, because
Yeah.
Rivers ain't that guy. Detroit may feel the same exact way, but I think Detroit's got a lot more to fix. I think that the
Oh yeah.
Broncos have a GM in Elway who thinks that he could give away the world to be able to get a quarterback, because that's all he needs is a quarterback is is going to solve all the problems, which is not going to be the case. So I love Chris to death, but I think that Chris is way off with his thinking. He's thinking about Canadian football, and this is the NFL.
Well, the problem with any deal with Carson Wentz is the money. That's like the only thing I really think hindering the fact of an actual deal. Carson Wentz leaving Philadelphia, no one wants to pay that money, and I don't even like the Eagles are stuck with it regardless. So I think at the end of the day, what you're going to see, Philly sports guy, is next season we're going to go into it and for a QB competition, and whoever wins it is the starting quarterback for the Eagles in 2021.
Well, I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think he gets traded.
Yeah,
I I didn't want to. I love you, Chris. I love you, Chris. I just put that out there. You know what I mean? I feel bad. I feel bad. He's like, hey, but
And-
it's. I think that the competition's going to help. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
think that watching from the sidelines is he needed to be a little butthurt. He needed to be a little butthurt. He's been able to do all the things he's been able to do up to this point, and he's been good. He's been good. Everybody thinks in 2018 was a better year than he had in 2017. However, it's everybody thinks about that because they lost games. But
yeah.
I mean, it's the Alshon Jeffrey thing. Like Alshon Jeffrey is such a snake in the grass as far
Oh
as
my
I'm
God.
concerned. I mean, all of a sudden he knows how to play again.
Yeah.
Get out of here. You know what I mean? Such a snake in the grass as far as
And
I'm
and
concerned.
and I really want to a real quick shout out Connor Miles on Twitter. He was a former Philly Sports Network guy as well. He put up a tweet. It was hilarious. It was a picture of Jerry Rice, and the caption was Alshon Jeffrey when Carson Wentz is not the quarterback. And I thought that was pretty accurate because you see Alshon Jeffrey out there diving for balls, tiptoeing for catches. He's even playing cornerback too. You remember that one pass that was going to get intercepted by Patrick Peterson if it wasn't an
Right.
Alshon Jeffrey cornerback play. So
Right.
you gotta love it. I guess you gotta love it, right? Ridiculous.
I don't love it. I don't love it a
I
little
know.
bit because that's fugazi to me. That's
Yeah,
fugazi.
I agree.
That's not heart. That's spite. That's spite. You know what? And you're getting paid too much money to be spite. You know what I mean?
And that's just
So
terrible culture too in the locker room.
Exactly. So I mean, and that's part of the issue. You know what I mean? Especially when you got some young kids out there that are dying. Like all of a sudden, Fulgham got back into the game last year, yesterday, and like towards the end of the game, he was getting open and getting looks and stuff like that. And I mean, I there's so many better people to have out here. I know that Alshon Jeffrey made the catch and he played in the Super Bowl
Yeah,
with with a hurt shoulder and everything. But I mean, it's time to move on from him. It's time to
hmm
move on from him. Of course, we can't though because we're crushed, in the cap. So we're going to have to
yeah,
use him again next year
yeah.
because we're going to be stuck. We're already $78 million over the cap. How are we going to get under? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Can't
yeah.
cut people because they're all owed that money. So.
I know. Well, I guess we have to talk about something else today too. It's not just the offense and the defense, Philly sports guy. It's offense, defense, and special teams, and we were really hurting yesterday in that position, and that's aspect of the football field.
Hey, don't talk about my man Elliott, who had his best kick of the year, a punt for 50 yards, just about.
What?
You know
Who
what I
thought he
mean?
did that? That was
You know,
crazy.
I mean, thank God he could punt. You know what I mean? It was like I felt like it was the best kick of the year from him.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It was like a great punt. It had a great hang time and everything. Who knew that he could punt the ball? I was like,
right.
dang, we could definitely work that out. I mean, obviously, it's Rick Lovato. I love Rick. He was a Pro Bowl. He was the Pro Bowl long snapper last
Mhm.
year. I got his signature on one of my jerseys,
Nice.
and
That was
he
rough.
like, come on. They had to have somebody else hold for him and hold because the punter wound up getting a concussion.
I
And
know.
that's the one that you're going to dribble up to him. You know what I
I
mean? That's what you got to
know.
do.
I know.
I mean, it was so.
And that really turned the game around too, because then Doug's, that we would have had the lead Remember, that was
It would have
26-26. You make that extra point. You have the lead. The momentum is still on your side. That kind of like, took the gas out a little bit from the momentum aspect. But yeah, it was rough. But like, you talked about the block. Like, that you can't allow that happening. You can't allow your punter getting destroyed like that. And then also too, you remember Andy Lee, who's been playing in the league since I was in 5th grade. Like, it's ridiculous. And he throws like this beautiful spot. It wasn't beautiful. It was more like a duck. He throws up this duck to Arizona's. So the guy who blocked the punt also caught the ball on that fake punt throw. And like Arizona, like that's, people don't even remember that, but that's like another thing. Arizona beat us in the special teams, and I kind of wanted to bring up the point too, because I haven't been like
they didn't score on that drive, by the way. They
no,
did
no,
have
no.
that big, but they did not score on that
No,
drive.
I know that, but I'm just saying, like, what a way to, like, get some plays from your special teams. That's always a boost, and that's always going to help you to get the W. Like, you remember when and my point is Dave Phipp. Remember when Dave Phipp started here with Chip Kelly? Like, we had some solid special team plays in those first 2 years. There was a couple blocks in here and there, and then like this season, I haven't been that enthused by the special teams. Like it's nice to get like a nice big play, a nice big return, or even a return for a touchdown. We had that one punt return for a touchdown, but like any returner that we have back there, I don't get like I don't get that feeling like when Deshaun Jackson would go back there in his prime. Like I don't get that feeling. Like, why don't we put your boy Quez Watkins out there? Like, we clearly see he's got some speed. It'd be nice to see him on a punt return here and there, and the same thing on kick returns too. I don't get enthused by Boston Scott, so like the special teams is something we haven't really talked about, but like yesterday kind of got highlighted, and I just wanted to point it out because I'm not enthused by this Eagle special teams unit.
Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Like other than the one Rager run back, and that was it. That's
Yeah,
all that there's
exactly.
been. That's all there's been. I mean, it's I would love to see Quez Watkins out on the field more.
I know
He
you
made it
would.
out. I checked it. He was out for 28 plays.
Hmm.
I only saw him for 4 or 5. You know what I mean? But I'm always looking for number 80. You know what I mean? Because when I think of 80, I mean, all the great players that have worn 80 for the Eagles. You know
Yes,
what I
sir.
mean? Like it's Irving, Fryer. You know what I mean? It's like I just number 80 just is like I think it's a
That's a good
great
receiver
number,
number.
huh?
That's a good receiving number to have too.
Exactly. So I'm dying for him to get out on the field more and give him the ball more. Like I said, once they figure out that he's going to blow past all the defenders, you just throw it up in the air and
Yes,
hope
sir.
that he catches it. Let's figure out if he's got any hands on him. You know what I mean? Let's
Yeah.
figure it out. Because I think that he is by far the fastest guy on the field. The fastest guy on the field. And I've only been saying it since week 1.
Well, do you
Oh,
remember? Do you remember the Niners game? Carson threw Quez out on a long ball. Now Quez didn't catch the ball because there was offensive PI that Quez drew. So again, that's another player that's shown you some promise, and yet we don't see any more of him.
That's what
And these are
happened
the
with him at the Steelers game. And I
yeah,
watched it. I'm like,
yeah,
again, it was like he ran out there. He blew past the defender, had a sandwich, filed his nails, ran back for the ball because it was underthrown, and then ran into the defender. The defender ran into him and caused pass interference for
yeah.
45 yards.
Hmm.
You know, it is. I don't understand why they can't get him out there more. I just don't understand why they can't do it. But I mean, obviously, they're getting paid lots of money, and I get to just talk about it on Monday morning. You know what I mean, or Monday evening. But it's time. It is definitely time to see more of Quez Watkins. He
Oh
was
yeah,
out there. Like I said, he was out there for 28 plays, 34%. He was
he
out there for
started it
34%.
4 times.
Yeah, he had 2 more plays than Fulgham and 13 more plays than Boston Scott.
That's right. Fulgham got out there. He was big on that lot on the at the end in the fourth
The
quarter.
last
He had
drive,
good
the last
catches.
drive. So, and those are the things that have. And so, let's talk about a couple of other things, like some of the numbers. Hey, real quick, I want to get just it's so bad because we start getting right into this, but I got to go over our sponsors. Of course,
Shouts to sponsors.
Wi-Fi. Yeah, Wi-Fi, gluten-free, awesome internet, $55 a month. Wi-Fi in Wilmington. Definitely, if you're looking for Wi-Fi and you want to cut the cord of the traditionals, you want to definitely go with Wi-Fi. Like I said, gluten-free, awesome internet, and of course, King Creative. King Creative, every story has an audience. Let the Blue Lion tell yours. They are definitely great with different content. They've been doing TikToks. They've been doing different shows. If you want to do something with them, definitely just look up the Blue Lion at King Creative, and you'll let them tell your story. And then, of course, last but not least, here I'm going to put this up there.
Yes, sir.
I didn't even save. Yeah, but you can't go to Philly Sport. You can't go to Dallas with the Philly Sports Guy anymore. I'm going to hide that again. But you want to book your trip because we're going to Vegas next year, and you want to go with the PhillySportsTrips.com. They are the best in the business, and we're going to Vegas, baby. Vegas.
Let's go.
PhillySportsTrips.com. You want to start making those plans now. You want to start booking. They have payment plans so that you can get in there and get started so that you don't have to pay a lot all up front or all at one time. You could definitely start to work on that. And it's like I said, we got a year to go. So definitely want to check it out at PhillySportsTrips.com. Okay, now we go back inside the numbers. I wanted to do the inside the numbers again because this was one of the things that I like to see, from what had happened. So the running game was non-existent, although Sanders had 17 carries for 64 yards. Hurts had 11 carries for 63 yards, and Jagan Rager had 1 carry for minus 10 yards. So that we only had 117 yards. But this was the most important thing that I saw. Jalen Hurts was 24 out of 44 for 338.
Yes, sir.
3 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
For the first time this year, we had a quarterback over 100 passer rating. He had a passer rating of 102.3.
Yeah.
Now, even Lee had a better passer rating than Jalen Hurts with a 118.8, and Kyler Murray had 127.8. So they actually had combined, they had a 129.6 passer rating, which sounds funny, but because it actually went up there. But literally, did it seem to you that Hopkins had 169 yards receiving?
No, to me, he had that one big play, right, where Jacquet tried to rip the ball away, but that was really it. I felt like everything was kind of short when it came to him. Now, I mean, he man on man, like he's gonna kill you, and the problem was like Jim Schwartz did not know what to do because you go man on man, and DeAndre Hopkins is gonna kill you, but you go zone, then Kyler Murray's gonna pick you apart. So the Eagles were really in a tough situation, but I didn't really think he killed us like that.
No, he did. That's what it surprised me when I saw it. He was 9 receptions out of 11 targets for 169 yards and a touchdown. And I mean they did have 432 yards passing, so that's a lot of yards passing.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course the penalties killed us. They killed us. Again, 2 big 15-yard penalties at inopportune times. The one penalty specifically kept them in the game, or kept that drive alive. It was 4th down, and it was like I said, that he pushed him out of bounds after he was out of bounds. Like, come on, really? Like that's what you're doing? That's what you're doing? It was so bad. It was so bad. But
even that tight end for the Cardinals, he had a couple big plays, but he's a guy if I'm not mistaken, was a wide receiver, got converted into a tight end, so he's got.
Right, was that Arnold?
I thought it was McDonald, but you could be right.
Yeah, I think it was Arnold. He had
85.
3 catches for 54 yards.
Mm-hmm.
He was the only. He was the second. He was the second best receiver for them.
Yeah, Dan Arnold. That's right.
Yeah. So, and I thought that he did have a pretty good game. Again, Singleton actually had a really good game as well.
I know. Yeah.
He showed up. I wasn't sure if he was going to come, but we got a special guest coming on the show, and we're going to talk a little bit because it is Dallas week.
Yeah, how
You
come
know,
people
that's the
forget?
one thing we've been talking about. We've been talking about this game, blah, blah, blah. But it is Dallas week, and it is my pleasure to introduce
There
True
he
Blue.
is.
What's up, my man? How you doing, brother?
What's going on, True?
Oh, it's going, man. It's going. Can you hear me all right?
Yes,
Yeah, we
we
got you.
can. Yes, we can. How you
I'm, get, I'm
feeling down
getting
there?
I'm getting a little bit of breakup on the audio on my side.
Can you hear me? Can you hear us good?
Yeah, can you hear us?
Yeah, it's shuttering in and out. It said it would be shuttering in and out, so
Okay,
now I got you.
there it is. I hear you now.
Awesome.
So what's up? What's up, brother? I mean, you guys had a big win this week, kind of.
Oh man, it was exciting. It was San Francisco, one of the rivals there was just getting in, and yeah, it was pretty good there. Getting to little too close for my comfort in the third quarter.
But yeah, it was like 24-24, and then you guys broke it open. I was watching that game a little bit. In fact, I even had to have a little argument with somebody because they wanted to watch finished watching the Dallas game when the Eagles game turned on. I'm like, who cares about Dallas? You know, and then he got to he got a little upset with me, and I got a little upset with him, and we made up afterwards. We kissed and made up because we're in Philly and it's the city of brotherly love. But not when my birds are playing, you know what I mean? And they're not playing against Dallas. But
Well, True. I wanted to ask you because I was kind of impressed with your running back, Pollard. Was that his name?
Yeah, Tony Pollard, TP.
TP. I like what I saw from him. He gives you a different type of aspect when it comes to running back. He gave you a little energy. Any running back controversy there? You guys gonna do a little running back by rotation? What's going on with the running back situation, man?
Well, I think it is going by commission right now, and I think one of the interesting things is that this is Tony Pollard's second year, and with that being said, he's a lot more burst. He's a lot more fun to watch, in my opinion, because he gets through those gaps a lot quicker. If you notice how much quicker he gets through on that stuff, and he just goes and goes and goes and goes. And I mean, even on the kick returns, last week he had a nice 70-yard kick return against Cincinnati. He's been doing 40, 50-yard returns on. So you guys better watch out this weekend if you're going to kick the ball to him.
How's Dalton been looking?
Oh, he's looking good. He's still a little bit, I guess surprised by everything that's been going on. It's just I don't think he's there yet as far as a backup. I mean, hell, we're all four of us have backup quarterbacks in the NFC East.
Pretty much.
And I think he's getting there. The passes are getting there. I still don't think he's seeing the big picture. He's not progressing. He's not moving. He's not going through his progressions right. Seeing the 1, 2, 3, 4 receivers.
I'm sure the Cincinnati fan base would agree with you.
Oh yeah, I'm sure of that.
well, at least you're going to have a little bit better quarterback than the guy who was making pizzas. Hey, well, the game that we saw, like, because obviously, yeah, Danucci. So, and we've got to watch that game right next to each other, and of course, we're going to be right next to each other again this week coming up. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting because we're going to know exactly what's going to happen. Because that game is going to still matter. I mean, obviously, if you guys lose, you're out. If we lose, we're out. But whoever wins that game, depending on what Washington does, and I know that Matt Rule is a Philly guy, so he's definitely going to be, playing Carolina to beat Washington. It could still be for the NFC East. So, I'm undefeated when I go to Dallas. You know that, right?
Well, not this weekend.
How's that? I love it.
Up there in Philly, that Ben DiNucci, he I thought he was going to do a little bit better than what he did. Of course, he didn't. I think if we would have went with somebody else, we definitely could have been. I mean, it was a pretty close game.
Hey, True Blue, he still played better than Carson.
Ooh.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's definitely just fact. So
that game, that game right there, yeah. And I think we got with our other backup quarterback, and it's going to be pretty interesting here this game. You guys got Jalen Hurts, and I think
you guys know well down there, right? Texas boy.
Yeah, yeah. He fled from here to go to upstate, up above. So,
Yeah, he went to Oklahoma.
Oh yeah.
So,
Are you a
but he's
Texas guy, Drew?
am I what?
Are you a Longhorn guy or?
Actually, I don't do college. I like
Okay,
watching.
I'm
I
same.
like watching all the teams. I keep up for the draft, but I'm
Same.
I cannot. I've got one team to focus in on, and that's
I
it.
I feel you, brother. I feel you. We're lucky we don't have that good of a college program around here that we don't really have to worry about it. But we know, you know how it is here. Bleed green all day.
Oh yeah. Hey, you got several to choose from. Penn State, Pitt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a bunch to choose there from. But yeah, I
nobody
mean,
cares about Pitt around here.
yeah,
But
I think Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
I think running quarterbacks. I've never been a big fan of running quarterbacks. I've always been for the guy who can get away and still make the pass. I appreciate, but running quarterbacks I've never liked. So it's going to be pretty interesting against our defensive line.
I mean, I think that we literally just talked about it too. I think against Arizona, he showed you that he has the makings to be a quarterback who can throw the ball but is mobile enough to get out of the pocket, because there was a couple of times where he tested Patrick Peterson, and like Patrick Peterson, I know he's a little older now, but you got Alshon against Patrick. It was like it was a throwback to like 5 years ago, but I saw a guy who wasn't scared, and I think that if he can get someone here who can develop him into a complete quarterback, I think he can do it. I really think I saw some things on Sunday. Obviously, we have a situation at hand here because we have another quarterback who's owed like $30 million next year. So we are our hands are tied right now in Philly.
Yeah, I know. I was seeing those stats. 100. What is it? Not Carson's making somewhere in the realm of 968,000 per game, and that Hurts kid is making that for his salary the entire year. So.
well, that's what happens though when you get drafted. I mean, so it's those things occur. You know what I mean? I
Oh
know
yeah.
that up until the when Wentz was drafted, he wasn't making a tremendous amount of money to
Yeah.
start. I mean, he just got the bump in the salary. You know what I mean? And that's and those things happen. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's of course it's 2020, and with the cap going to be down next year, it's going to make things a lot more difficult to kind of
yeah,
play. Um, but I ain't talking about next year yet because we ain't done yet. We got this year still to go, so I'm not concerned about what's going to happen next year. I want to know, True, what do you think the Cowboys got to do to win the game?
I think the Cowboys have to do exactly what we did against San Francisco and Cincinnati is take away the ball. We had 4 takeaways. I think if we can get 2, I think it's in that possible realm. These guys are finally attacking the ball.
Is that Diggs kid still balling? He killed us when he was up here.
Yeah, he's back. He got back from that broken bone in his foot. He was actually
Okay,
playing last night. He had a takeaway.
he's gonna be good.
But he was a hell of a defender on. He had it going on last night, and nobody wanted to throw to his side, pretty much. But when they did throw to the other side, you can see we had 4 takeaways. 2 of them were fumbles. 1 was on the kick return. I mean, our defense is finally playing legit.
Mm-hmm.
I still need my linebackers to step up, fill those gaps. I mean, we're still not filling the gap. That's the part that's concerning me, especially one of your guys running back.
What happened to the linebacking core though? Like Van Der Esch still there and Sean Lee still there?
Yeah, Van Der Esch and Jalen Smith are there, but
Okay,
the scheme of things is, I was talking with
what's it, Mike Nolan, your defense coordinator?
Yeah, I was talking when I was up there in Philly. I was telling them how our scheme's not working, and it just isn't. We have 2 linebackers sitting back there. We've got a total of 5 linemen sitting there, and then they're backing up as acting like linebackers. I've got a 315-pound lineman, Antoine Woods, who goes into covering passes. He drops off the line, he drops back, and next thing you know, he's covering a tight end.
Oh my God!
I'm not just making that up. You got to see this to believe it. But that's the kind of stuff we can't have. We can't have a tight end on the defensive lineman.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's just not going to happen. But I think we're going to step up a little bit. I think this game's going to be a little bit tighter than it was in Philly. I think it's going to be a lot more.
They always are. It's Dallas and Philly, baby. If it wasn't a close game, it wouldn't be a real Dallas and Philly game.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't know. When it comes to games that really, really matter, it seems like the Eagles just stomp you lately. You know, like this. I think about those types of games like that. What was that? Like 40-6 game when it
Oh,
was
man.
for the NFC East. You know that really mattered. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was
He's really rubbing it in today.
know.
Oh,
Well,
that's
I
fine.
get to spend a couple days with him, so I figure I got to start to prep him up now. I got to tenderize him a little bit.
Yeah, and that's going to be the great thing too. I don't think. I mean, besides when they played at home in front of fans, I don't think the Phillies have played in front of that many fans this season. And in
No.
Texas, we're going to have quite a bit of fans there.
Yeah,
So
they say that you're getting about 35,000 into the stadium.
yeah,
Wow.
That's actually that's going to be fun because it's going to be more like a game than I've been to. You know, like like I said, we went to a game. I've been to about 5 games so far this year, and they've all been about 7,000 fans, which is nothing. That's not a lot of fans to be at a game.
Well,
So
Philly
this is
sports guy, let me ask you: have you talked to Eagles fans that are going to the Dallas game?
Yes, I have.
Okay,
In
so
fact,
you're gonna be.
there's a group going there. So where I was trying to push it for the Dallas trip, and the Philly sports trips did come through, and they wound up, I think, sending like 30 people down from Philadelphia. Actually, some people are coming. I got the Philadelphia contingent from over on the West Coast. So I
Hey
got
now.
some guys coming from San Francisco that are coming out that are Eagles fans. They're originally from Philly that moved out that way. I've got some friends coming from Green Bay who are Eagles fans that are going to, so we're going all over the country. That Eagles Nation is coming and to come into Dallas because we haven't had many games to be able to watch live, and this is going to be a lot of fun. So, and of course, around all of those Eagles fans, you're going to see a real big cowboy hat, a true blue, right in the middle of us all,
oh
because
yeah,
it's I bring them there with me. I like I says, I love watching games with them, and I make sure the Eagles fans are good with them. Can't let them get beat up. But we're in Dallas, so it's a little different there.
yeah. It's going to be a little bit more. Everything's going to be cool. I like the Eagles fans that show up here to the stadium. It's a lot more. And that's the thing. It's more passion. That's what I love. The passion of the football game itself. And it's not, our rivalry is huge and everything. But I think the talking of the football is what makes it fun, especially with the Eagles fans there, because you can rib, and that's what's fun. I can't say that enough. It's a lot of fun hearing all these Eagles fans talk a lot of smack.
Exactly.
I just let it go.
And it's so much better when you guys have to do the walk of shame. When you guys are walking out and we're yelling, "It's our house! It's our house!" I mean,
Yeah.
they said it's been. I don't know that we've won down there since I've been there. And we won 2 years in a row because I was there for the Thanksgiving Day game,
Hey
the
now.
last time we played in Thanksgiving,
The
and then I went
Sanchez.
the following year when we had DeMarco Murray on our team, and I sat behind Mr. and Mrs. Murray.
Okay.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, I haven't been to Dallas since then, but I'm excited to go this weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I think I'm hoping we don't get into that overtime situation like we did last time with the ending touchdown to Amari Cooper with the tip drill. Yeah, that was something else. I'm hoping we're not getting to that point anymore. I hope it's I just want a good game, but I don't want it to be close. Needless to say.
I want I want it to be over too. I wanted to put you guys out of your misery by like the third quarter, like early third quarter. Where we're up by 21 points and then it'll be done. You know what I mean? Especially after watching the Washington football team get their butt spanked by Carolina. That would really make this trip perfect.
Well, I'm hoping for the same thing, but opposite for you.
Is there any word on Alex Smith?
No, I haven't heard anything. I heard he still
No,
has
and
a
I think he's
hamstring.
out. I think he's out.
That's what
Yeah,
we need.
He hurt that same leg, and I think that's more of a precautionary thing.
yeah, and you have
So,
to be with that kind of situation with that leg. It's just much respect for him. A lot of
Oh,
that's.
absolutely.
I
I mean,
think the Washington fans have been dealing with a lot and dealing with him coming back on the field. I mean, but you got to remember, Colt McCoy is not a pushover. So That's going to be the other part.
Well, Colt McCoy. The problem is that he's got to go up against Cleveland and the
Baltimore.
Ravens. Yeah, Cleveland, the Ravens, and and then finish up with you guys, right?
Yep. We got him the last game
So
up in New York.
yeah,
Hopefully no Black Cats.
Hold on. Didn't the Black Cats help you win?
Oh, see, that's the thing. They say that, but we haven't won after that.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, so it's been ever since that cat popped out, our win streaks haven't been there. Everything else, even though they're considering 2 wins a win streak, I just don't. It just hasn't been the same since that damn cat.
Gotcha. I remember that cat. That was Halloween. That was right around Halloween too.
Oh yeah.
That happened.
That
was right after my birthday. That was like right after my birthday, where we got stomped by you guys. I'll never forget that either. That was disgusting. That they showed up. That they showed up, and you guys scored 14 points in the first 3 minutes of the game. It's bad. I remember that. That was my birthday, my exact birthday. So,
how's your offensive line looking?
Oh God,
like Swiss cheese.
You got missing parts, huh?
Yeah, we had sacks really killed us at that very end. We had an opportunity to win. 2 big sacks pushed us back.
Yeah, that not only that, but I think that out of the 14 weeks that we've played, we've had 13 different line configurations.
Yeah.
So it seems like anytime we put somebody in there, they get hurt. Except the guy who we don't want to have in there. He seems to be fine every week. You know what I mean? The guy who's like the turnstile. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? That's why I think that's what makes Hurts a much better quarterback option than Wentz right now, because Wentz is more of a pocket guy and Hurts is a little bit more of a scrambling guy. So it's going to really go on. What I think the Eagles are going to do to try to win this game is, one, we have to make sure that Pollard doesn't get us. And it's been Pollard's been the one in the running game who's been more damaging to us over the last 2 years than Elliott has.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course, Amari Cooper, I'm not really concerned about. I have a little bit more concern about CeeDee Lamb, just because I think that it's going to be the one game that he may want to try to prove. Like, if he's going to wear a chip on his shoulder at any time, this might be the time to try to wear it. Like, hey, you guys should have came up and got me, and you didn't, type thing. Because he was slated to go to the Eagles, and the only reason why he didn't is because you guys drafted him. So there's a piece of that that's still there, I think. And he knows that. He heard all that talk as well, and Dallas got up there. Dallas obviously picked first, so wound up getting him. And he's actually been pretty good for you guys. I mean, he's not only been a receiver, but he's been really good at the blocking. He's been good at some of the intangibles that you don't really get a lot of.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to see him on more punt returns. That's my thing. He's pretty slicey and dicing it out there when he's getting those punt returns. But sitting in the slot position, I think he's going to open up your secondary and see. We're going to try and see how vulnerable you are with covering him. I think that's going to open up a mixed bag per se, because now I've got Gallup on the other side of Cooper. So, I mean, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how we set everything up to go against your secondary. See what kind of runs we can get. And I think it's going to be more of the pass game to set up the run. As weird as that sounds.
No, and I can believe that. Because ultimately you're going to need to be able, because we stop the run pretty well. It's when the passing game is working that you're going to be able to go around the edge. That's where those things can happen.
Yeah.
When you're taking the corners away and sending them downfield, and we're back more in our zone coverage, and that's when you can start to beat the edges. Because since the middle of the season, when we were getting beat by all the reverses, they finally took all of that away. There has not been any reverses that have been able to work against us since then. That's the one thing that he made a transition on over the last I want to say few weeks, that you just don't see any reverses anymore. That misdirection stuff doesn't work as much anymore against us because they're staying more in their lane.
Yeah, what do we do? What do we do? 6 reverses against you guys? Something like
Right.
that?
And we were, but that was the call of the game, though. Like those were the calls because everybody else was doing them.
Yeah.
So now Schwartz has been able to solve that problem. So you're not dealing with that as much anymore. And that's where some of the, I'm happy about the defense. I still am not real excited about our defense. I feel like that we let up a lot of yards, and letting up a lot of yards and not a lot of points, or like even like the Eagles still have not scored 30 points in a game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I need them to do that. You know what I mean? And I think like that's what this game's going to be about.
Yeah.
I think that it's going to be more of a shootout than we can imagine. It's not going to be your atypical NFC East because it's 2020. You know what I mean? It's everything's wacky.
Well, I'm gonna feed you a little tidbit here too. So when we get in a 4 receiver set, the guy you're gonna want to keep an eye out is for number 85, Brown. He's been Andy Dalton's go-to guy. So if you see him out there on the field, you're gonna you know the ball is gonna go to him. So
I'll pass that along to Schwartz. I'll just say, hey, listen, 85. I just wrote notes down. I just took notes. I'm like, nah, number 85. Yeah, and I would say you need to pay attention to number 80, Quez Watkins.
If he gets on the field.
Yep.
That's the guy. You know, because you watched some of my videos. You saw how excited I was when I say it, and I've been talking about this guy nonstop. And I know that they don't plan for him. There's no game plan for him because there's not enough film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that guy is super fast.
Secret weapon.
And once he starts to go and does those fly patterns, I think that as long as Hurts has got a little bit of time to be able to let it develop for a second, that it's more or less let it fly and let's see if he can catch the ball, because he's going to be able to blow past all of your defenders.
Yeah.
He's the fastest guy on the field by far. Like I think he's got like 4.2, 440 speed. You know what I mean? Like it's like ridiculous speed.
Yeah,
so,
that's the thing too. I've got a new safety back there, and that guy's coming to hit you. So keep an eye out on that guy.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun, there on Sunday, because you know that I'm going to be loud. He knows he has to be. He just about comes with ear muffs, just because he knows how loud I can get.
I just got to put it on the one side. Whatever side he's on, I got to put that earplug in.
Exactly. He knows that I'm loud and I don't stop and I don't quit. So,
everyone's going to be hearing him on Sunday.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly correct. It's exactly correct. That all being said, you know what? I was looking today, and I don't want to step ahead because I don't think that I'll be honest. I don't think that either one of our teams is going to be in it. But I was looking at trips to go to the Super Bowl today, and like I said, I don't think that the Eagles are going to be in it. I don't think the Cowboys are going to be in it. As much as I'd like to hope that either one of those teams could possibly make it. Actually, I don't hope that you guys make it at all. But that's beside the point. Have you been to a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
You have been.
Yeah.
What is the type of environment when you go down there? What type? Now this is 2020, so it's going to be a lot different, I assume. But it's what type of environment is it when you go to?
Oh, it's going to be. I mean, it's going to be hard to say. But last year in Miami, the walking around that area during the Super Bowl, it was just amazing. You got all the fans from all over the world, all the TV stations from all over the world, and you go do that experience, the NFL experience, and you'll see all that firsthand. And I mean, they've got things that you just don't ordinarily see. But the environment is so much different. You can feel the NFL come to you right when you're walking around there, and people that go to the Super Bowl as well are all different walks of life. They're not just there to support their team. They're other fans. They just want to be part of the history. So I think it'll be pretty cool.
Now, did you go as True Blue or did you just go as a normal fan?
No, I just went as a normal fan.
Okay.
I didn't want to be out there doing anything to. Now the Pro Bowl, of course, yeah.
Right, the Pro Bowl is a little different, and of course they're not having that this year. It's anybody who gets chosen is just chosen, and that's that.
Oh, Philly sports guy, we didn't talk about the big news. Brandon Graham got his first nod at a Pro Bowl today.
How about that? See
Yeah,
that
there you go.
I didn't even hear that, so that's breaking news to me.
I heard that
Yeah.
on my ride here.
Look at that. That's good to hear. Of course, they're not going to be playing the game.
Yeah,
But that doesn't
he
matter. That
deserves
doesn't
that
matter.
award.
Because when you get the Pro Bowl nod, that's still worthwhile to have happen. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, it's. I watched the whole thing here at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock here, but yeah, there's not going to be anybody for any games. But the interesting thing is I didn't see one Dallas Cowboy, which pretty much pissed me off.
well,
That's pretty brutal to take as a fan.
well, Danucci didn't play that well, so so. But yeah, I understand it because I can't imagine that there was many other Eagles that made it. Beyond that.
I think I saw yeah 2 Eagles that made it. A total of 2 Eagles that made it.
And Fletcher Cox and Fletcher. It would have had to have been Fletcher Cox as far as I know, just because he's still just a well-known name and he is a beast out there. He is a beast out there. It's still nonstop.
I didn't see too many. There wasn't too many from the Eagles. Hell, there wasn't. The only kid I saw was the kid from the Redskins or from the Washington football team.
Oh, McLaurin.
The number 99, the kid that just
Chase Young.
Yeah,
Chase Young.
Yeah.
From them. I mean, other than that, I didn't see too many. I mean, you got Aaron Rodgers, you got Russell Wilson. I mean, you got the usual names, but as far as the offensive and defensive lines, there was the usual standouts. But I mean, again,
well, it had to have been different this year because it was like 3 Eagles made it to the Pro Bowl last year. Would have been 4 if Brandon Brooks was able to play.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they took out so literally it was the whole offensive line could have been the Eagles last year. In the Pro Bowl. But he got hurt, and of course, Lane Johnson was an alternate. So I think because it may have been one of the Cowboys got hurt.
Yeah, Zach Martin or who was that? Tyron Smith. Yeah.
So it's like I said, we had all those guys, and even we had both the center and the long snapper go there. Rick Lovato was a Pro Bowler. So
we have a long line of good long snappers here in Philly.
Exactly. But well, listen, True Blue, I appreciate you coming on. Listen,
good talking to you, True.
We're going to be there. I'm going to be there on Saturday. I'll touch base with you Saturday night. I'm going to get out drinking. I'm going to tie a little bit one on since we don't get started till 3 o'clock, right? It's 3 o'clock that time. Yep. So I actually can get a couple of minutes sleep, going to bed. What time do they close the bars down there right now? Awesome. Just like normal. That's what I like to see. So it's going to be fun, especially being around with a whole bunch of Eagles fans. I'm trying to set up a little party, like a pregame party for the night before, try to catch up there. So if you want to come, I don't know. You may want to stick that one out for a minute. Do it on Sunday. But I'm going to be excited to be hanging with you again on Sunday. For this game, it's going to be exciting. And who knows? It could be the next step to winning the NFC East. So
could be.
Can you imagine what it's going to be like Week 16, where all 4 teams could still have a possibility to win?
It's going to be that's why I follow Gil Brandt, my guru. And he keeps pointing out the most interesting race in the NFL right now is the NFC East.
Right, exactly. Because everything else is already done, just been picked out, except us. And it doesn't matter that we all stink, you know what I mean? Because whoever comes out of this NFC East is going to win a playoff game. I guarantee that.
Yep.
So unless the Giants do it. So, but all right, True Blue, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Right. You have a good one.
You have a good one, bro.
All right.
Stepping aside enemy lines. It's always good talking to True.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I tell you, I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
and like I said, it's we're not going to be talking to each other between now and then. So you, El Parcero Philly,
yes, sir.
you and your family, the very best Merry Christmas.
Thank you, sir.
Uh,
You as well.
and to all of our listeners and everything, it's so awesome that you guys have been tuning in and following us and and listening to us ramble on about football all this time. And not only that, I gotta give them a little shout out. I gotta give a little shout out to the Philadelphia Union, who did
Yes,
give me a follow. I'm all
yes.
excited about that. I was supposed to send an email out that I didn't do, so I'm already lagging on that a little bit. But they are excited to see the Philadelphia Union Philly sports guy,
Yes,
and we
sir.
were talking about doing a little bit of content together. So I definitely got to give a shout out to them. I'm
Great
already
people over
excited for
there.
next year. I'm already excited for next year. Since Seattle got beat, now I know that the you know that we have just as good a chance as any, especially with the new young talent that's coming up and
Yes,
such.
sir.
So
Very, very big off season for the Philadelphia Union. We'll see what they do. They got the first rumor yesterday during the game. Actually, the rumor dropped. This kid from Yebekistan. I can't pronounce his name, but I don't think it's real. But it's just cool to see a rumor. We actually have a rumor for the Union. So, we'll of course, if you do have Union fans out there, make sure to follow because I will keep you up to date with everything the Philadelphia Union and of the other four sports too.
Hey, and so just while we're doing that real quickly, so with Philly Sports Trips, I just got this email the other day. Philly Sports Trips is offering a trip to go watch the Euro. Uh, Hold on, I'm going to pull up the email just so that I can make sure that I talk about this proper way, because they're offering a trip to Europe to go watch a
The
couple
Euros.
of the
The
Euro.
the Euros.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's like the World Cup for the European nations. So it's like a trophy they win as the best European nation. So that would be definitely pretty cool. I'm not sure where the next Euro is. I think it was supposed to be this year, and they're moving it back to next year, if I'm not mistaken.
so
But
Euro Cup 2021 for Italy and Amsterdam.
okay,
I'm just going to say you're going to get to see Netherlands and the Ukraine at Amsterdam Arena on
okay.
June 13th, and Italy versus Switzerland at Stadio Olimpico on June
Oh,
16th.
okay.
So, and the package includes round trip direct flight from Philadelphia to Amsterdam, round trip direct flights from Amsterdam to Rome, charter bus, airport transfers, 8-night stay at two beautiful 4-star hotels, your tickets to two UEFA European Football Championship matches, a group Vatican tour, a 1-day Tuscany tour, two events on game
Ooh,
days, three group dinners, and an on-site trip coordinator. That is
that's a good
that
deal.
is a fantastic trip. So definitely phillysportstrips.com. You definitely got to check that out. I knew I was reason why I was bringing up soccer, besides the fact that the Union, like I said, I was all excited when the Union gave me a follow. Oh,
Well, Philly
no,
Sports Guide.
Kelsey made the Pro Bowl as well. So there was three
Yes,
Eagles, three
let's
Eagles that
go.
made it.
I was going to tell you. Do you know who plays in the Stadio Olimpico? It's a it's a good.
Is that Lazio?
Yeah, there you go.
That's right. You know why? Because my family is all Lazio fans,
Lot
and I'm a
Steelers.
Roma fan. So
Oh,
I am
snap.
not liked. I am not liked. They're
Well,
like, yeah,
they
you're
both
angry at
play
me.
there. They both play in the Stadio Olimpico. I forgot you did say you were Roma. I remember you saying your family was Lazio, but it's a great rivalry too.
Yes,
It's a bloody rivalry. There's been some deaths in the rivalry, but
I
people.
can believe that.
Yeah, we have this great rival. Like we're blessed to be able to talk to True Blue. We have a semi-friendly rivalry with the Dallas Cowboys, but some soccer nations can get a little crazy with the rivalries. Let's just say I don't want to kill any Cowboys fans.
Right. Yeah. Not at least not. Yeah. This isn't Kansas City going up against Raiders. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's not us. You know what I mean? We like to talk our smack. We like to definitely stand behind it a little bit, but it's it ends, especially with me and True Blue. Like I said, I love that man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Even though he's a Dallas Cowboys fan, it's not his fault. He likes a bad football team. And that's okay. But
The
You
Philly
know,
Sports Guy too. We need to tell the people here today because look, I hear a lot of the tanking talks, guys. I get you want a better player. I get that, but this is Dallas week. Our our Eagle fan ancestors would absolutely slap us in the face hearing us say that we want to lose for a draft pick on Dallas week. And the thing is, there's one win separating Dallas and Philly this year. This is going to be a good game on Sunday. I know the talent is not there on both sides, but you are going to get some hard fighting football, and it's going to be enjoyable. And all I'm going to say is, guys, it is Dallas week. Get up. Dallas sucks. All right, come on.
Dallas sucks. Dallas sucks. That's exactly correct. I hate Dallas. I never want them to win. It's always like that. It's
Record
always
doesn't
like
matter
that.
here. It's us and it's them, and show up as fans. I don't want to see the tank and talk.
Exactly. Because I tell you what, after Matt Rule wins his game and says "Merry Christmas, Philadelphia," then we're going to be able still in control of our own destiny
Yes,
as
sir.
long as the Giants serve and lose their games like they're going to. So
Yes, sir.
I fully expect that to happen too.
Yes,
But
sir.
all right. Well, listen, El Parcero, definitely you and your family, very
sir.
Merry Christmas.
You as well, my man.
And to everybody else out there, Merry Christmas, guys. And we will see you next week from Dallas. I am going to be in Dallas. I'm going to be doing the show from I may even do it right from AT&T Stadium, right there in the glow of AT&T Stadium, talking about that win. And if we lose, I'm not.
It should be fun.
Exactly. So, hey, let's go. Dallas sucks.
Yes,
Go
sir.
Birds.
Happy holidays, everyone. Go Birds. Dallas sucks.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, guys.
Say it.